All right, folks, good morning. Okay, let's get started. So for today, Thursday the 8th, excuse me, we have the following information. Unemployment claims, they came in as expected. We have preliminary non-farm productivity quarter over quarter that came in better than expected. We have preliminary unit labor costs quarter over quarter came in better than expected as well. At 10 a.m., we'll have President Trump speaking, due to hold a press conference about the U.S.-UK trade relationship at the White House. So then at also at 10 a.m., we're going to have final wholesale inventories month over month. And at 10, well, actually, we don't have to worry about natural gas. At 1:01 p.m. Eastern, we'll have the 30-year bond auction. So basically at 10 a.m., we might have some substantial volatility, but then after that, that should be it. Looks like on Friday we're going to have a lot of Fed members speaking, but we'll go over that on Friday. Now, having said that, let's take a look at the QQQ ETF. Here it is. And as we can see, it is slightly higher than where it was yesterday. Yesterday's action was very neutral, as was the day before. So we're still trading in the middle of the recent trading range, but now we're trading towards the upper end of it. Not at the higher end, but towards the upper end of it. We had the FOMC decision yesterday, which came in as expected. They did not change interest rates. They left them the same. Also, they basically said that they think the economy still looks fine. They did say, obviously, there's some complications that will come in due to trade policy changes, and they mentioned that inflation is still somewhat elevated. They didn't say it was like a major concern, but they did say that they're monitoring it, and of course, that was it. So they didn't say very much, nothing that really moved the markets, nothing that really surprised the markets, and we have this potential trade deal announcement coming up today with the U.S. UK, so we'll see. All right, having said that, we did find a stock yesterday, but it didn't work out. That was Palantir, PLTR. We took a bullish opportunity on that, but ended up breaking even when it was pretty obvious that the stock was stagnating right up here. So we were able to get out before we took a loss, or at least any significant loss. But there were some other stocks that were moving yesterday. One of them was Google. And Google took a very large decline yesterday off of some news that Apple had reported that Google browser searches had declined for the first time on Apple's platform, I think ever. Now, of course, it doesn't mean that Google's overall searches globally necessarily went down. I'll have to check the data on that. But the point was that it implied that revenue might decline for Google. And as you can see right now, Google's prices are still trading towards the lower half of yesterday's range. So if anyone caught this right on the break when the news hit, this was a really nice trade, very straightforward. Another comparable trade was Apple after that news hit. Apple, of course, since the news was focused on use of Google and Apple's Safari browser, this actually moved down as well. All right, so there were some opportunities, but they were pretty much, you had to find them when they happened. One other opportunity that did come up yesterday, but we weren't able to catch in time, was DoorDash. This one kind of slipped in under the radar, but it was a nice move down. Was able to drop well below our target number 2 to the downside as well. So just mentioning those. Now let's take a look at the pre-market and see what we got today. All right, so here we have our opportunities for today. So let's take a look at them one by one. First up is ASST. That is presently up 50% on about 45 million shares. It's at least $1 per share, so that does fully qualify for our watch list. So we'll add ASST to the list. Next up, we have ZKIN, which is presently up about 37% on 22 million shares, is at least $1 per share. We'll add ZKIN to the list. Next up is NVIDIA. That's not up enough, only 1%, so we'll skip that. Next up is NVAX, which is presently up 19% on 8.3 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. So we'll go ahead and add that to our list, NVAX. Next up is MIRA, which is presently down 4%, so not enough, so we'll skip that. We need it to be down at least 6% if it's down, or up at least 6% if it's up. All right, next up we'll check Microalgo, MLGO, which actually was very bearish yesterday. Yeah, that one kind of got down too fast, didn't catch it. So it popped in the pre-market, but sold off sharply after that. Microalgo is currently up 4%, so not up enough to qualify for our list. INTC has spiked. That's up 3.55%, so not up enough, but duly noted. Next up is WGRX, which is presently up 64% on 3.6 million shares. Huge volume. It's at least $1 per share, so we can add that WGRX to our list. Let's see. Next up is RGTI. Oops, sorry. RGTI. That's up 7.68% on 3.3 million shares, at least $1 per share. So we'll add that RGTI to our list. Next up is PRFX, which is presently down only 2.36%. We can skip that. Next up is STAI, presently down about 4%, so we'll skip that one, not down enough. Let's check out Shopify. Shopify SHOP is currently down 5.82% on 2.3 million shares. It's at least $1 per share. It's close, but not exactly right. So I'll add that to our possibilities list, but won't add that to the full watch list. Next up is CPNG. I don't think that's moved enough, though. Actually, never mind. That's a New York stock. Never mind. All right, so those are the ones I've found so far. I'll post them in the chat. Okay, so now if you folks see any other stocks meeting all four criteria, of course, other than the stocks I already mentioned, let me know. Four criteria are: it must be a NASDAQ listed stock trading at least $1 per share in the current pre-market session, must have achieved at least a 6% price change, positive or negative, and must have achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume. PRFX, I thought I went over that one. That one is down 3.3% according to my scanner. All right, so if we see any others, let me know in the chat. Peloton, okay. Okay, that's currently down 7.73%. 1.2 million shares, at least $1 per share. That does qualify, so we'll add PTON. DNUT, let's see. That is presently down 23.79% on 1 million shares, at least $1 per share. Yep, that qualifies, so we'll definitely add that to our list. ARM, okay. ARM is currently down 6.43% on 2.2 million shares, at least $1 per share. So ARM is now added. All right, then we're good to go. All right, folks. So hold on for a second. All right, folks. So please be sure to like the video. I see that we have 7 likes, more than 7 people watching. So please be sure to hit the like button. That greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you get notifications. And if anyone's watching this video on a replay and you're not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com, our website. You'll see a link in the description to this video. Other than that, for everyone who's part of the coaching program, I will see you there in about 11 or 12 minutes, and we'll pick up for today's trading session, okay? All right, folks, have a great trading day, and I'll see you for tomorrow's pre-market pulse. Take care.